What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you tune into another edition of my vlog. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you hadn't hit it now. Don't miss out on these videos. You know, I'm all about the positivity and the motivation, keeping you guys laced up. And I had one of my viewers ask me, Big Herc, how do you know when you have a good woman? How do you know when the girl you're with is the one? And there's a couple ways you can tell if a woman is really the one that you should wife up, the one that you should, go ahead and settle down with. And it's a lot about her personality and what her interest is, as far as when you ask her certain questions in regards to you guys as a couple, or even if it's or your own personal interest. It's like, for instance, you guys meet up, and this might be maybe the second date, and you get to talking about goals, life, careers, and she doesn't really ask you anything about yours. All she does is talk about what she wants out of life. What she's looking for, how much she can get, and she likes to wear this or wear that, and she's been here, she's hung out with this celebrity. Oh, I know so-and-so, and oh yes, I was at a party with so-and-so. She's not the one. For one, she's a weenie chaser. She's on a weenie mission, and all those guys she named that she said that she knew or ran across at them parties, she's probably trying to jump on their weenies. She wants celebrity weenie, athlete weenie, Lamborghini weenie, Ferrari weenie. That's what she wants. She's not the one for you. And anytime she's dropping names like that, that means that basically on the side, she's pursuing these guys when she's not in front of your face. So she's not the one. Another good indicator in that conversation was she never asked you about your personal interests. When you ask a woman about her personal interests, she should reciprocate that question and ask you what your personal interests are. What are your goals? Where you see yourself at? What are some of the things you like to do for fun? Where you grew up at? Do you have any brothers or sisters? What's your relationship with your parents? These are things that a woman who's genuinely interested in knowing about your character, she's going to ask these questions. If you're dating somebody for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, and she's never asked you about your family, about where you grew up at, whether or not you've been in any serious relationships, then she really don't care. And she really don't care if she's never brought you around any of her friends or family. So she's not the one. And women, he's not the one. So there are things that a person demonstrates in a relationship that determines whether or not they're even looking beyond the booty call, beyond the Netflix and chill. When it comes to you say, for instance, you're not feeling well, and if she just ignores that and talks about her eyebrows or her eyelashes or her nails, then she's not the one, because she don't care about you. She don't care that you're sick, and she didn't ask you if you wanted some some chicken noodle soup from Gelson's, or if she needed, if you needed to come over and give you a back rub, because she don't care. She's all about her. So she's not the one. See, subtle things like that. If she says, "Oh, I'm sick," and you're like, "Oh, baby, okay, what's wrong? I'll be right over there. Do you need some NyQuil? Do you need some cough medicine? Do you want me to bring you some, some food, or some chicken noodle soup?" Those are things that show that you care. And that's the thing, a lot of people are so self-indulged that they really don't care. And they think that by a lot of times being with you, if they think they're all that, is enough for you to be happy with. So if she's some Instagram model, some fitness model, and she thinks she has a banging body, you know, booty babooba, you know what I mean, breast babooba, and you know, that's what gets her all the likes. And if you're with her, then you should be happy that you're with her. And that's not necessarily the case, because she's not wifey material. She's strictly booty call material. And that's why a lot of the women, you see them, they're single, because they're only booty call material. And I'm not just banging on the women. You got a lot of guys, they walk around, all they do is talk about their diet, what their fat percentage is, and you know, how many abs they got, if they got an 8-pack, 6-pack, a 10-pack, what kind of car they drive, and you know, how much they spent on red bottoms or whatever the case. And they're not the one for you either, because they're all about materialism and self-indulgence. You know, they don't have anything to share outside themselves. So it goes both ways. You got a lot of guys that are so you know, into themselves that they couldn't see, you know, a woman if she fell in front of them. You know, they don't even recognize when they fart, because they're so into themselves. They think that their farts smell like roses, and it smell like straight giraffe poop. You know, so it's a lot of little things, man, that you got to look for, whether it be you know, a woman, but also a man. If you know, go to their house, always go to the bathroom, look in the trash can. Trash can should be empty. It shouldn't be a week's worth of tampons. Shouldn't be any used condoms in there unless it was yours, because there's some used condoms in there somebody else is putting in work when you're not around. You know, it shouldn't be you know, 2 toothbrushes in there, because if there's 2 toothbrushes, then apparently when you're not around, if it ain't your toothbrush, somebody else is over there blowing that thing out. Somebody else is over there busting cheeks. So, hey, be wise to the game, man. Don't be naive. You know, if you get in the bed and you open the sheet and look like there's a stain on there, and it wasn't your stain, somebody else skeeted on your sheet, man. Somebody been there before you were there. You know, them old, you know, the Nike socks under the bed, if they ain't yours, then you know who else is over there. Big Reg. Jake, he putting the hammer down when you're not there. So recognize, you know what I mean? And women, you know what's up. You guys go through everybody, you know, you go through everybody's stuff. You go in there, you go through the pill cabinet, underneath the sink. You guys look behind the sink, you look in the trash, you're looking for all kind of evidence, because that's what women do. So be on top of your game. And just because she has a foreign accent doesn't mean that she's gonna love you long time, because she might love you for the wrong time. She might love you to get a baby. I've seen that happen too. Dudes think they got game, they got them old foreign girl pregnant, and she's like, hey, I'm cool, I got a kid over here now, I can't get kicked out the country, and you gotta pay child support, dummy. Big dummy. Thought you were good looking and handsome, I was gonna really shack up with you. You're a stepping stone. I know you got that good job and nice car. Now I'm about to go and get me all the BBC I can, because that's what I do. She's a BBC hunter. Yeah. So don't get caught slipping, man. Don't think that you're the only one with a hammer in town, because there's a lot of guys that are packing hammers. You got hammers all around the town, man, waiting to bang that thing out. And like I said, you'll know, because these women, a lot of times, while you're having dinner, I've seen them, they're sitting there with their phone, looking at the what do you call it, the reverse camera, admiring themselves while you're at dinner, taking pictures, doing this, ain't paying no attention to you, no conversation, nothing interesting to say, but yet she looks like a model, so you're gonna put up with it because you think it makes you look good. It really makes you look like a damn fool. You know, you think you putting it down, well, she's putting it down, and she's really about her come up. So you're not as smart as you think you are, and you're not as good looking as you think you are. And even if you do have a 12-inch hammer, don't think that that's going to be the end game, because It could be somebody else out there who's spitting that game. Got mouthpiece. I know some cats that got miniature hammers, and their mouthpieces is vicious. And they got the dude who got the big hammer. When he's not around, she's bringing the bread to him. Hey, athletes, you done seen it, man. They married, and she creeping with a dude down the street. This dude got a one of those old athletic hammers, and he still can't keep her. So it ain't all about the D, man. It's about the conversation. It's about more than busting cheeks. It's about having common interests and just getting to know the person. You know, where she grew up at, where's she from? Do you know any of these things? Do you know if she got these siblings? Do you know what they do? Do you know what high school she went to? Do you know whether or not that's her real name? She might have 2 or 3 different names, might have 2 or 3 different social security numbers. She maybe filed bankruptcy and didn't tell you. Now she's working a credit game. Do your homework, man. Do your homework. You know, do these women take the extra step to make it a date special? You come over, does she cook? You know, does she actually go through and dirty up some dishes for you, or is she just ordering takeout? I had some women in my life I thought was cool prior to getting married, but one didn't know how to cook anything except for top ramen, and I had enough of top ramen when I was in prison. I was cool. The other one, after I got through blowing the cheeks out, I went and looked in the fridge. There was nothing in there but water and I think an apple and maybe some type of creamer for coffee. Wasn't going down, wasn't happening. Had another one. She acted like she was asleep. And then when I would go to do my errands, she'd go through my passcode book and take all the damn passcodes and write them down. And you know what she did one day? Froze up all my tech devices, smartphone, computer, changed my passwords, took my Gmail, shut down my phone account. She did all kind of stuff because she was mad. I wouldn't be honest either. I was busting a lot of cheeks at the time. I had quite a few females on a dizzy, but at the same time, we weren't married, and it was known that it wasn't nothing super serious, but nonetheless, she had a plan, and that was the end of it. I never got the passcodes back. All those people who she contacted got harassed. I had to basically start fresh. All my social media, my at the time I had a MySpace and all that stuff was. She ran through all that, but that's what happens, man. And I brought it on myself. But like I said, that's the least of your worries when stuff like this happens, man. So watch who you consider to be your woman. Watch who you pick and choose as your partner. Do your homework. Make sure this woman or this guy is not crazy. One of the things that I should have looked at, with that female I told you who stole all my passcodes, was she had all these different things. Looked like she had kept from previous relationships, like just a lot of, like 2 or 3 coffee makers. She had like probably 60 to 80 pairs of jeans stacked up, and just a bunch of different things that people had gave her or she had gotten. And she couldn't let nothing go. So that was the indicator that if I got involved with her, she wasn't gonna let me go easy, and she didn't. And it was all bad, man. Another thing was she was a stripper. Not to knock strippers, but strippers can be crazy. They have dealt with a lot of different, a lot of guys lying to them, and so they're very, they're subject to be more emotional than your typical girl. So, not like I said, not judging. I met some cool strippers, but this girl was a stripper, and a lot of strippers I know, they hear a lot of bullshit from guys, and that can affect their, outward, basically, relationship status when they're dealing with different men. But yeah, this girl, she was crazy, man. Luckily, I got out of there alive. So, Big Herc 916, holler at me, life coach and mentor. Hey, and watch out to make sure she or he is the one for you.